the curse wall has fallen.
The saga of the Giant Kings is finally at an end. Those who wore the bonding bracelet are now free from its sorcery.
Many try to leave the Giant King prison, to return to the lives they left behind.
Perhaps some make it home. But for most, that journey is long, and the road home is treacherous.
Whether fate brought you here for greatness, or this is but one leg of your odyssey,
we invite you to join us
for the next chapter of The Bonded Ones. Unbonded, as we're calling it, is something new, something unique in the world of Conan Exile's RP. For 7 seasons, Bonded Ones have fought to carve out a life for themselves within the harsh prison of the exiled lands. Now that the curse wall is down, exiles may find that the world is larger than they remember. This season aims to open up that world for players, to involve them in the conflicts and intrigue of coastal nations. The Unbonded map mod has been built from the ground up, from its landscape and geography to the cities and settlements across its surface. It's still in development, but already has the scaffolding for many of the major regions, with more being added over time. As the world continues to grow, storytellers will be running sessions as part of a larger campaign. This new session-based approach is different from open server play. It's an old idea, really, brought over from tabletop roleplay, where players and GMs meet up at set times to continue the story in installments. This allows player action to influence world events in a more direct way, and become a greater part of the overarching story. Sessions will be scheduled regularly and run by one or more GMs, who will narrate, play NPCs, and adjudicate roles and outcomes. Players RP their characters and work with GMs to determine what direction they want to take events. This communication happens within sessions, but continues afterwards, as GMs plan for what comes next. Between sessions, there's also room for breakout RP and various downtime activities to help advance character goals. As long as it fits into the narrative, players have full autonomy. So, what's the story? The campaign is set against a backdrop of war, not only between Argos and Zingara, but within Zingara itself, as civil unrest grows in the southern provinces. While war is waged on the mainland, we begin our story in Mar Abrazo, a settlement of pirates south of the Baroccan Isles. It's ruled over by Baron King Vasco, a former Zingaran lord, now in exile. The Baron King has brought with him many of his Ashuri sellswords, ruthless Shemite warriors who have served the Baron for many years. Between the Ashuri and the elite Baron Guard, the Baron King maintains order on the island as prosperity increases under his rule. This loose confederation of thieves has grown as more and more crews are drawn in by the prospect of riches and glory. The Baron King promises to build a nation in which anyone can rise beyond the station of their birth, a system based on merit, not heredity, where the lowborn can become lords and beggars can become barons. The story is outlined in more detail in the character creation document. Be sure to read through it to understand the context. Even if your character is completely removed from these conflicts, there are many potential hooks to help draw you into the story. And as always, we're here to help tie your ideas into the setting. We've focused on 3 major ports. Mar Abrazo is one of them, but the other 2 are located on a stretch of coast that represents the border between Zingara and Argos, separated by a ghoul-infested forest. Jarita, on the Zingaran side, and Napolitos, on the Argosian side, are both works in progress, but for each, the city has been planned out to allow room for players to help build. We want to get players involved in shaping the story and the places in it. Jarita, at the southernmost tip of Zingara, is a colorful city, being so close to the Baroccan Isles. Its navy is strong, defending trade along the coast. That trade is tightly controlled by the Guild of Merchants. Their guild hall is located in the Wharf District, next to the bathhouse, where sailors go to wash up and unwind after weeks at sea. There are many buildings in the Wharf District that can be used as shops and other establishments. These are built into the map, using modular pieces that can be reconfigured if needed. There are also warehouses, used to store cargo from merchant ships, and lots of open land for players to build on. The arcade beneath the guild hall has room for merchant stalls, as does the plaza by the water. Once decor has been added, the Wharf District will be a vibrant area, full of music and merriment for mariners on shore leave. Meanwhile, in Argos, the great city-state of Napolitos, at the mouth of the Thunder River, is a bustling metropolis. The streets are packed, or at least they will be, as more building and deco is added to the various districts. Each section has been blocked out, so it's ready for development. Players can help build up the mighty metropolis, from the docks to the upper city, where the great houses have their estates and villas. In the uppermost reaches of the city lies the Mitrium, just off the Palace District, where citizens gather once per week to hear priests pontificate on the glory and mysteries of Mitra. It is an opportunity for members of the community to demonstrate their piety and devotion for all to see. Religion in Zingara has a slightly different flavor. Theirs is a more complex theology of foreign gods and demons. Their monks pray for protection against these evil forces, while nocturnal hunters root out agents of darkness wherever they hide. In a superstitious world, the temple holds almost as much power as the state itself. The map has many hidden places to explore. Even on the Isle of Marabrazo, there are things to discover. Elaborate cave systems run beneath its surface, containing ruins of some long-forgotten culture. Hot springs high in the hills once served as sacred places. They feed into the waterways that gather in the lowlands. Dangerous swamps pool at the base of the hills. Flooded quarries are yet mined for iron ore and precious metals to fuel the expansion of the Baron King's nation of pirates. We are currently accepting character applications for this new campaign. You'll find the application form attached to the character creation document. Please fill out as much as you can. Characters from previous seasons of the Bonded ones are permitted, so long as their stories align with the established lore for this season, so read carefully. But characters from anywhere in the world could find themselves on the shores of Marabrazo. All concepts are welcome. If you want help fleshing out some of the details, we're more than happy to answer questions and work with you to iterate on your application. More information will follow regarding the format of these sessions. Players may be broken up into different groups and introduced at different times. We will endeavor to run a session 0 for each group, where we'll talk through aspects of the story leading up to that point, roleplay some scenes, and discuss the group's overall goals and direction.
Unbound. Unbroken. The ocean before you is vast and uncharted. Will you embrace the unknown?